Astral projection, ancient mystics called it the gateway to universal consciousness. But modern practitioners are using surprisingly systematic techniques to explore dimensions beyond our physical reality.
That's fascinating territory we're entering. What exactly are these modern methods people are using?
Well, there's this remarkable technique called the Stargate method that's been gaining traction. Picture entering a deep meditative state where you visualize these cosmic doorways, like shimmering portals of pure energy, that practitioners say allow consciousness to traverse different dimensions.
Hmm. So it's not just random visualization then? There must be specific steps involved.
Oh, exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting. The technique requires reaching what practitioners call the threshold state, that space between waking and sleeping where brainwaves actually shift to theta frequency, around 4 to 7 hertz. That's when these dimensional doorways supposedly become accessible.
That reminds me of ancient Egyptian practices. They had similar concepts about doorways between worlds.
That's exactly what makes this so fascinating. And get this, there's another method called the energy vortex technique that's like the protective big brother of astral projection. Instead of stepping through portals, you create the spinning column of energy that lifts your consciousness while maintaining what practitioners call an energetic shield.
So it's like having a cosmic security system in place?
Yes, and according to advanced practitioners, combining both techniques creates what they call a quantum safe passage. The vortex provides protection while the Stargate enables exploration. Recent surveys among experienced practitioners show about 73% report using both methods together.
That's quite a high percentage. What kind of experiences do people typically report?
Well, the data is fascinating. About 85% describe a distinct vibration frequency throughout their body, 92% report auditory phenomena like buzzing or humming, and here's where it gets wild. Nearly 60% claim they've accessed what they call information fields, containing universal knowledge.
Hold on. Are there any scientific studies looking into these experiences?
That's where recent developments are really interesting. The Monroe Institute has been conducting EEG studies on experienced practitioners, and they've documented consistent patterns of enhanced theta wave activity during these states. Some neuroscientists are suggesting these experiences might be accessing quantum fields of consciousness.
That's bridging quite a gap between ancient wisdom and modern science.
And what's particularly exciting is how these techniques are being adapted for practical applications. Like, some medical institutions are now exploring modified versions for pain management, with preliminary studies showing a 40% reduction in chronic pain levels among participants who practice these methods.
These practical applications seem to be where the real potential lies.
Exactly. And here's something really intriguing. Corporate innovation teams are starting to experiment with modified versions of these techniques for creative problem solving. They're reporting up to 30% improvement in solution generation during brainstorming sessions.
That's quite a shift from its spiritual origins to practical business applications.
hmm And speaking of origins, traditional shamanic cultures have been using similar methods for thousands of years. The Tibetan Book of the Dead describes techniques remarkably similar to the Stargate method, just using different terminology.
So we're essentially rediscovering ancient knowledge through a modern lens?
Well, yes and no. Modern practitioners are definitely building on ancient foundations, but they're also incorporating new understanding from quantum physics and neuroscience. For instance, the energy vortex technique uses principles of quantum entanglement to explain how consciousness can maintain connection with the physical body.
That's quite an evolution from traditional practices.
And looking toward the future, researchers are developing what they call neural feedback loops to help practitioners achieve these states more reliably. Early tests show success rates improving by up to 60% when using these enhanced methods.
Sounds like we're on the verge of some major breakthroughs in understanding consciousness itself.
That's really the heart of it. Whether you view these techniques as spiritual practices or consciousness exploration tools, they're opening new frontiers in our understanding of human potential and the nature of reality itself.
What an incredible journey from ancient mysticism to cutting-edge science.
And perhaps that's the most profound aspect. We're finally developing the scientific framework to understand what ancient cultures have known for millennia about the vast potential of human consciousness.